I love that you brought up your mom because I wanted to ask you how being a mom yourself impacts how you do your job. So I love hearing about how your mom impacted the way that you think about all those things: creativity, courage, happiness, but also style, design, presentation. I know that you value all those things, and I can see all those things in your company as well as in how you approach your life. So I'm wondering, as like a final question, how being a mom has impacted how you do your work too.
I think I'm always learning, right? Like I always tell people that, probably how a lot of other people felt, but nobody articulated this to me, is that I never felt so stupid until I had my first child, right? Like I was like intimidated by changing a diaper and, was I going to do it right? And what happened if it, like all of those things, right? It was like a whole new world for me had opened up. And then over the years, I feel like I'm constantly learning. Like I used to think like as your kids get older, things get easier. Like I think that that's not necessarily true anymore. It's just different, right? There's different type of issues, right? That you deal with like along the way. And as, their lives are changing, your lives are changing too. And so it's like all of those components just get, more complicated. But I think that there's a few things. First of all, I'm a huge believer that, as a working parent, I remember feeling this way, like, there was a whole group of people of mothers that didn't work when I was initially, starting my company. And I think everybody's had that feeling like you're like, should I just be staying at home? Should I be doing this? And I had always felt that staying at home was just not really fulfilling for me. I never judged other people on that, but I thought like, that's going to be really hard for me to do. And I noticed it when my 18-year-old son was like, I think he was probably 11 or 12. He was watching, I think it was Sheryl Sandberg or somebody on TV talking about, leaning in. And he said, Mom, I just realized like you're a CEO, but there's not very many female CEOs that are out there. And I was like, where is he going with this whole thing? And he was like, that's really cool. Like I've like seen you, be this person for so long. So it's really like, why do you think that there aren't more? And I'm like, well, that's a really good question. And I remember walking away and thinking that, for years without even intentionally sort of teaching, I feel like I've been teaching, my kids, all four of them in different ways, that you can actually like be a working parent and be a good parent, that your kids talk to you. They're like going through the process with you. And, and you can also learn from them, right? About things that you're doing, in your everyday life that is, sort of different than what they're being told by the media or their teachers or whatever. And so I feel like I'm creating the next generation of, workers and managers and spouses and parents that can actually, look at our situation and say it's okay.